What's up, big dog? What's happening?
Took way too long to get this done, man.
Yeah, we finally here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Let's
sir.
get to it.
Yeah,
The rise of the Phoenix.
let's do
Well,
it.
man, we finally made it here. Finally, man. You back home. You landed back here. You here with the Phoenix, man, and it's a blessing because I think they need you. But I want the people to know who you are within the community and what you stand for. So if you wouldn't mind, introduce yourself to the community.
So I am Ezekiel Hayes. I am a Lake Wellian by blood, by nature, all the adjectives you can think of. This is where I'm from. This is who I am. Everybody knows my dad. Not everybody knows me. And for the longest part of my life, that's actually how I wanted it. Being in his shadow early on in life was something that I did not like looking forward to. But as I've gotten older, as I've grown a little bit, learned a little bit more, it's been beneficial. It's been beneficial. I'm me. I am every bit of him, but I'm everything that he's not at the same time. And not in a negative connotation, but I have things that my dad has instilled in me from the athletic point of view, from just the worldly point of view. But then I have my own thought processes. I have my own interpretations of things, how I want to do things.
So, man, I got a few questions, man, that I came with today because I'm eager to know, and I'm quite sure the community is eager to know too as well, what you're going to be doing here and what your vision is for the Phoenix. So, question number one, man, how do you plan to establish your program's identity and culture within year one?
So year one's gonna be a little tough, just in a sense of I'm new. The school is still growing in itself. Um, Thankfully, I was able to get on campus to end off this past school year, and so I wasn't starting fresh at the beginning of the year, meeting many of my kids. Um, Starting off, finalizing my program, I got to get to know the kids first, and then they got to get to know me outside of the athletics arena because that's where I will impact the majority of them. When it comes to specifically the basketball program, I want kids that want to play basketball. I want kids that want to have fun. We have to find a way to blend with the kids that want to be pushed and then the kids that are just here truly to have a good time because we have a lot of them on campus that they just like playing the game. And so I don't want to come in as this domineering figure where I'm just purely militant and things have to be done this way, this specific time. I want to set a standard, but it's going to be a growing process because this first group, they have the least amount of time with me. The kids that are ninth and 10th grade and beyond down in the middle school, we're going to have the most time together. And so year one, I want to establish, but by year 3 and 4, that's when my philosophy and my program will really start to be seen and be shown throughout more than just what you see on the court.
So, how do you define success for this program outside the wins and the losses?
So, as a coach, as a player, as just a competitor, your pride wants wins. Nobody wants to lose. But I have actually valued more in my coaching so far, putting away or putting aside the wins and the losses. I want to see the growth and the development within the kids. And it's not just from a basketball sense, even though they're my basketball players. It's in the classroom where kids are struggling with a certain aspect of learning. But then by the end of the quarter or for basketball, by the end of the season, they got it. And no longer are they looking at you for help, but they're looking to you with a smile on their face, letting you know they got it. And so, more so to your question, outside of the wins and losses, what are these kids doing in the classroom? What are these kids doing at home? I don't know many of their personal lives, and I'm going to become a part of many of their personal lives. But how are they growing as young men? How were they academically? How are they socially within the school? I want some nerds. I want some class clowns. I'll be honest. I do want some class clowns. You need somebody to keep it lively. But what are you doing to help better yourself? Because if you're not bettering yourself, what are you doing? And that's where I want to be beneficial. That's where I think I am beneficial in the lives of youth and helping bridge that gap between adolescence and teenager becoming an adult. Once you're grown, hey, you're grown. You do you then. But I want to be that beneficial piece to help get you to that point where you got it. And you can smile and let your teacher know, I got it now. Thank you.
That's genuine. Yeah, and sincere. Well, man, this next question is going to be kind of controversial because I've seen this handled, many different ways. But I'm curious to see how you would handle this. Um, how will you handle a situation where a star player violates a team rule or underperforms academically?
Mm. So I would take that somewhat in two different ways. From the athletic standpoint, purely, you violate team rules, the standard is a standard. Many coaches end up becoming hypocritical in that situation where you value wins over what your standard is. And I don't want that to be what I am, who I am, what I'm about. I have my own thoughts on that. I need to get with my coaches here on staff to finalize how we are going to handle that. But for me, you violate team rules, there are in-house consequences, and then there are school consequences, whether it be a little extra running, extra push-ups, or whether it be you sitting out of halves, you sit out games, true suspensions. Um, I am not afraid to sit a player because they are not performing how they should or they are not holding themselves accountable how they should. The team will hold you accountable. Firstly, I would like to have the athletes, the students around that player that your teammates are going to hold you accountable before it gets to me. But at the end of the day, I'm the head coach. I have to hold you accountable because if I don't, who will? From the academic standpoint, being an educator myself as well, I'm not going to say that's the easy part, but for me, I like that. And we can check on your academics throughout not just the year, not just the quarter, daily, weekly. We will be having checks for our student athletes. And it's not in the sense of you did one thing bad or you missed one assignment and it's a got you. No, I want to see your progress. I want to see where you are currently, and I want to see how we can help you to become the best student that you can be. Some students are not going to be straight A students. It's okay. But for you to feel complacent with being a D student, I pridefully disagree with that thought process. If we can get you to be in a high B student and you're actually achieving and trying, yes, that's where we want to get you. But when it comes to students that just don't want to, or they just want to be lazy, we have checks in place. We will have balances in place for that. We will get you the help that you need. And the old adage is you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I agree with that to an extent, and I always find it funny, just that saying, but I'm gonna help get you there. But if you're not gonna help yourself, I can only do so much.
Agreed. Um, Man, so how do you plan to structure your practices to ensure maximum energy, skill development, and conditioning?
Okay. Competition is key. I am a enthusiast when it comes to 2-on-2s, 3s-on-3s, smaller settings versus the whole 5-on-5. You need the whole 5-on-5 for understanding of what you want to do. But when it comes to our ball handling or when it comes to shooting, different aspects of the skill work, I think that having competition as a team and as well as the individual is going to be key. That way you have the engagement from the kids, because there are times where things become mundane. It happens, just in anything that we do. If you do something enough, you're going to get bored with it until you're perfect at it, and then you still might be bored with it. But for me, I think that having smaller competitions within practice when we're doing certain drills, and then even larger competitions where it becomes the teams of 4-on-4 or teams of 5-on-5, how many, not just points you score, but how many small things are we looking for as a coaching staff? How many extra rebounds are we getting? How many extra passes or assists are we making versus just the individual accolades that we can get? For conditioning, everything that we do is going to be game speed. Yes, there is a time to slow down so we can see it and learn it. But once we have gotten that first initial out the way, if we're not practicing for game speed, I can't expect my guys to be ready for the game. And so moving quickly, moving in between transitions between different drills, or transitioning between offense to defense, whatever we're doing, keeping them in motion is what is going to be key for the conditioning aspect, because basketball is fluid. It's ever moving. The only thing times you get a break is during a timeout or it's a quarter change. Because even when it's a dead ball, you still moving. Somebody's moving, somebody's doing this. And so I got a lot of kids now who are used to bouncing around movement. I need you to slow down a little bit. I need you to understand why you're moving in a certain way or moving from this point to that point. But then once you got it, yeah, go full speed.
Yeah, and I'm all for understanding and clarity myself. So that's good. Um, how do you plan to utilize your coaching staff and delegate responsibilities during games and practices?
During games, I have been used to being the assistant coach. I've done both the taking over substitutions all on my own, as an assistant and as a head. And then I've also valued when I have an assistant who can help me out with substitutions, because as a player, I notice you see things differently on the court than you do on the bench. As a coach, I've noticed you see things differently standing up at the front of the bench than what you do at the middle and at the end of the bench. And so as a head, my eyes, my attention are what's going on the court. I need my assistants to be my eyes and ears behind me. They notice things between the players that I don't on the court. They notice things going on the bench. And so, yes, I have a keen thought process on what I want to happen and who I want in the game at certain times, but we have built a rapport to now, and then moving forward, we will strengthen that rapport to where if you see a change that needs to happen, go. I have a staff around me that I believe in and that I trust. And so if they want to make a decision, I may look at them sideways sometimes, but hey, you make that decision. We can have that discussion later. If you see something, go for it. And they believe in me that if I see something, go for it. Again, we can have those discussions later, but that's coaching. We always have our discussions not in front of the kids at the time, whether we agree or disagree. In practice, I am not the loudest voice, and I am perfectly fine with not being the loudest voice. I am consistent, I'm continual, but I want my coaches to speak. I want my coaches to have authority within different aspects of what we're doing. I have coaches who are better offensively minded than me. I have coaches who are more defensively minded than me. We bring different aspects of the game to each other, and we work them together for the betterment of our kids, for their development. Um, I have a coach who really likes right now sidelines out of bounds and baseline out of bounds. Hey, that is his lane. Yes, I think I'm an X's and O's guy, but I will say baseline out of bounds has been a weakness of mine. Just I haven't focused on it enough. And I got somebody who is stronger than me. Hey, that is your lane. I will lean on you when it comes to that aspect of the game. And so, again, I want my coaches to speak. We're not going to battle each other when it comes to whose voice is louder, but I want the kids to know that, yes, I have a loud voice, but my voice is going to be constant. My voice is going to be both praising you and constructively criticizing you. But when it's time for you to listen to one of the other coaches, it's time for you to listen to one of the other coaches. And it's not a he said type deal. Listen, get what you need to get, go. If you have a question, ask it afterwards. But if a coach tells you to do something, that's when you need to do. You ask and you question later. Do.
Fair enough. And I think that's fair enough. Absolutely. How do you plan to motivate players who aren't getting the playing time they expect?
Yes, I handle playing time because I handle substituting, or one of my assistants handles substitutions. The kids determine their own playing time. I tell my kids, I tell my coaches, even though a few of them don't always agree with how I say this, I love attitude. I love the attitude. But what are you going to do with your attitude? Because you can be mad at work. You can be happy at work. So your playing time is determined by your effort. Your playing time is determined by how well you listen. And many kids don't like to combine the two of them. I get it. Stubbornness is as stubbornness does. You want to do what you want to do. Many kids are not used to the structure that I intend to bring, that have already brought. And so there's contention there. If I've ever said the wrong thing to a kid, I have tried to work my way back to apologize to them about saying the wrong thing. But when it comes to your effort, I tell them all the time, it costs you absolutely nothing. Since it costs nothing, you don't have to pay me anything, but I expect everything that you have to pay for it.
And I can solely agree with that. Um, how do you plan to handle communication with parents regarding playing time or role expectations?
So I would say the role expectations is more between player and coach. Excuse me. Parent expectations, I cannot help what a parent expects of their child. I can help with the development of their child. I can help steer one direction or another what the child is going to be doing, but communication between the parent, yes, I'm all for it. But as far as expectations, that's on parents and what they expect of their child. I can give a breakdown, I can give a synopsis, I can go over how your kid is doing, what they are doing, what they need to do better, but your expectations are your expectations. Communication, I think, is key. We have not had one yet just because of other things going on here at the end of the school year, beginning of the summer. But going into the school year, in our off season, we will have a parent meeting for those kids that are not playing other sports and that want to do fall ball with us. When it comes to when it comes to the actual season, once tryouts have come through, we will have a parent meeting that we will let parents know exactly what we expect from our student athletes pertaining to the classroom and pertaining to our athletic avenue. um, Parents will have my number. I am always open to communication. I just ask for one caveat. Give me 24 hours after a game. If there's any questions you have or anything that you want to bring up after a game specifically, give me 24 hours. Not saying that it is always in a negative context, but my brain may not be on the individual of what happened during the game. I may be thinking about something completely different. And what you see in the stands versus what I see on the sideline, we're looking at the same thing, but because we have two different viewpoints, we see different things. And so sometimes emotions get high for coaches, for parents, for players. Let's everybody take a calm down, get a cool head. Let's have a discussion. If you're open to having a discussion. Now, if you just want to yell at me, it will go in one ear and come out the other. I won't hear it. You can yell at me all you want. I have worked in customer service. I have worked in retail. I've had people yell at me. It does not faze me one bit at all because I have a job I need to do, and I'm going to continue to try to do my job the best that I can. So to get back to the point, communication is key with parents. They will have my number. I am hoping that they will reach out to me. I will be reaching out to them. That way we have a constant line of communication, both good, bad, positive, negative, whichever way you want to hear it. But for expectations, your expectations for your child are your expectations. The expectations I have for the program are the expectations I have for the program. Hopefully they align. I want them to align. If they don't, how can we work it? How can we get them to align? But then for not player development, what was it again? The player expectations or the role, the role for the players or role expectations. That one, at least now how I'm viewing it, is going to be more so between player and coach. If parent input, parents can be told what the role expectations are or what I expect, or not expect, what I think the role will be for their child for the team, and they're going to have an opinion on that. But how I see them in practice, in games, in workouts is different how a parent is going to see them. And so it's one head coach for the team. I got a bunch of parents who have a bunch of kids for the team. And so I'm not too stubborn to say it's my way or the highway, but I am set in a way that I have things that I want to get done with the players. I see things that parents don't see on a regular. Yes, they go home with you every night, but I get to see them here in these four lines. You don't always get to see them in these four lines in the same manner that I get to see them.
It's true.
So.
Okay, it's cool. Last question, man. Kind of an important question, I would say.
Okay.
Because I know the school kind of, is still new, still growing, and it has its growing pains as well, and it has a perception, within the community. But I think it's a new day. And so I just want to hear your take on this. How do you plan to engage the local youth basketball programs or middle schools to build a sustainable pipeline for the high school?
Okay. So first and foremost, now that we are middle and senior high school, it starts here.
That's true.
It starts here. We do not participate within the county middle school sport events because we are high school. I am looking more into that, trying to figure out a way that we can get back to doing that. Because when I was coming through, well, McLaughlin wasn't high school, but McLaughlin was one of the more predominant athletic middle schools in the county. And that's not just a credit to McLaughlin, that's a credit to Lake Wales. Lake Wales is not a big town. It's growing now, but Lake Wales is not a big town. But Lake Wales produces some of the best athletes in the county. And Lakeland may want to argue, Bartow may want to argue, y'all are bigger than we are. So we produce some of the best athletes in the county. I do have a relationship with the youth basketball organization, some of the coaches, and then the heads of the organization, the admin there, and it's a working relationship. I'm not new. I'm just not getting back into county. I've been back into Polk now for right at a year, and so knowing the people and then working with the people are two different things. And so I have a history with many of the coaches and the admin for the youth basketball organization. I want to work with the admin and coaches from the youth basketball organization, not just because I knew them growing up, not just because I think it's going to be a good thing. I know that if the youth basketball in Lake Wales is good, what is produced at the middle school level, what is produced at the high school level will be good. And not just from an outside person looking in over the years, having seen that. No, I was a part of that. Yeah. A good youth organization leading into middle, leading into high school. And I will say the benefit of being a middle school here, we can make sure that we get a lot of the fundamentals and the foundation built at the middle school level, coming out of elementary, before they get to high school. I want to keep all the kids here that want to stay here. I want to get kids in here that didn't initially want to be here, but hey, you know what? They doing something over there. In today's time, we're not going to keep everybody. And I understand that. I'm going to be sad, but I understand that. The kids that are here from the youth organization or that are not a part of the youth league, they're going to get the foundation. When you grow and blossom and go, I'm going to wish you the best. I'm going to shed 2 tears for you. 1, because you just hurt my feelings. And 2, I know you are going to be great. Yeah. But you got that foundation. And that's the main thing that I want to make sure from McLaughlin, from Bach Academy, from Bach Academy. We got 2 of it. It's two other middle schools. I want to make sure that they can get the best out of those foundational years before they blossom into the high school years. Because once they get to high school, it's on and popping.
That's true.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hayes, man, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day, man, and doing this interview with us today. You said a lot of good things that the community needs, and we definitely believe in you. We're behind you. And we want to see this Phoenix rise. And it's going to be special.
Yeah.
It's going to be unique. It's going to be tough. But we are with you.
Yes.
And we want what's best for you, man. And don't be afraid to reach out to us.
Yeah.
And we're definitely reaching out to you, even if you don't reach out to us, because we have a heart too.
Yeah.
For this community.
Yeah.
All these kids belong to us, whether they're level 1s, 2s, 5s, or whatever. Mm-hmm. They all belong to us. They all deserve an equal opportunity, you know, and they deserve to be in a culture that's positive, that's engaging.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you, man. And we're just ready to see it. We're ready for this ride, man. In year 1, we're so happy.
Yeah. So we
exposing statements you have.
We're young, we're inexperienced, even though I do have a few older kids, but like the mascot, like the moniker of the school is, Phoenix, we're new. You know, I'm not going with the aspect of from the ashes just yet, where we had to burn everything down, but this is new, and we're growing and we're building. And so, yes, we got to change a lot of minds, but I think that it takes, going with fire, it takes a small spark. It takes a small spark. And that once that really starts rolling and that fire starts building, and take a deep breath. Don't expect a whole lot right away, because it takes work. And we're wanting to bring stability to where things have been a little rocky, things have been a little shaky. We are wanting to bring that light to a place where for many people it's been a darkness. Mm-hmm. I did not go to McLaughlin. I have pride in a place that I did not go to. Why? This is home. This is Lake Wales. Yeah. This Lake Wales. And so we're building. We want to build. We want to grow. But it's going to take you, the community. It's going to take us, the people who are not from the community and the people that are from the community. It is going to take everybody working together to go forward, to rise, you know, and there are going to be bumps and bruises, scrapes. You may trip here and there, but we're going to build each other up. We're going to make sure that we continue moving forward and not just, look at them, they failed. Sorry for them, but I got to keep going. No, we must keep going. Yes. So thank you. Thank you, man. Long time coming, man.
That was amazing, man. We appreciate you so much.
Yes, yes.
Rise of the Phoenix.
Yes.
We're stronger together.
Of course.
Yes, sir.